Wow. It's been a bit since I last played this game, and in those days, I let it build up into a completely different thing in my head, and I've spent like the last few minutes just kind of processing what the scenario is because it's not what I thought I was walking back into. I think, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I guess the fact that he knows everything from every time loop, like, that was like a big threat. So I was like, oh, shit, fuck. This is the game changer. From here on out, this is a different playthrough than it was before, is what I thought. But it's not, is it? Cause he doesn't remember that time loop. The one where I know. And it's like, whoops. Cause, yeah, that's what fucked me up. You doing alright, buddy? Duck? You... What? Oh, that was the regular bow, wasn't it? Was it the regular bow? They're both really brown. Oh, no, wait. Oh, because I pressed the same one twice. If you press the same button, it puts away that item and then brings it back out, and it makes it feel like you're switching items. Alright, I wasn't expecting you to just get headshot and die like it's fucking Kingdom Come Deliverance. Oh, that highlight. I'm so happy I made a highlight at that moment. So, admittedly, I'm a little disappointed, but it's my fault. I got excited about a thing that's not ever a thing that was gonna happen, I guess. But like, I was like, oh shit, status quo change, now I'm still stuck in the time loop and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do and how to save everybody. But also the leader guy knows that I know that he knows that I know that he knows. But actually no. Cause what, the reveal is that he is remembering from timeline to timeline, so he's acting like he doesn't know who I am. But, that's I have some mixed feelings about that, kinda, because it puts us on even footing in that moment, and you're like, oh shit, oh we're the adversary, what's gonna happen now? But then the game ends, and like rolling credits and then loading an old save to try to get a different ending, that's different from a time loop. So he actually is not being established as a worthy adversary that's going to be like an ongoing, like he might like do something later. But as far as I know, he's not Sans. Like, he doesn't know that I loaded the save. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I was, like, looking forward to coming back to the game and dealing with this guy now that he's, like, on the same level, on the same page as me, and we're, like, everything's out in the open and we know everything about each other. And I'm a little sad that I'm realizing that's not at all what's gonna happen this episode. Alright, so I need a new plan then, because we already got the ending, or two endings. And now I need to figure out how to probably save everyone, right? That seems like what I would try to do. In fact, I think we're gonna essentially get to do what I thought we'd get to do in Outer Wilds, but then that's not the kind of game that was. But it's like, how do I do everything I can to save everyone? Because like, very much in that game, that's like the implicit goal that's not necessarily stated by the game, but it's just you as a person would be thinking you need to do is figure out how to save everyone. So we have no idea where the fourth plaque is. Egyptian plaque. We should ask the only Egyptian, yep. Yeah, Kabash. Ask Georges about Kabash, because we're still trying to find Kabash.
I hope you're coping.
Whoa. Oh, because of the hell situation? You know about hell in this timeline? Aren't you, George? Yes.
A fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Hello.
Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
Take it we haven't met each other in this timeline yet. I know, you want to know where I'm from, but I really want to ask you some questions.
My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well, ask me what you will.
You know where I might find a Greek plaque?
And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman now. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plaque you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Dully. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy.
Salve.
So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
He's got a lot to work out there. I'm looking for Kabash, and I heard that you were one of the last people to see him.
I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash.
You can trust me. We foreigners have to stick together, remember?
Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the Temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
How strange.
So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in, but do you know what I saw?
Someone who's been drinking?
Nothing! Nobody entered, and yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Where is the Temple of Demeter?
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right.
I'm off to the Temple of Demeter then.
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for two people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
It's probably fine, or I'll be super dead. Fun options. Where the fuck though? Towards the baths. The Greek temple. Can I mark that? Jupe. Back over. There we go. Okay. Oh right, those are the baths. Yeah, gotcha. I have never been in here. It's kind of a sneaky door. I guess, yeah. I got used to the idea of just like a staircase going along here. I didn't really register that there was a door in here. But yeah, it's a separate building from this collapsy one. So what is the secret of this place? A Greek vase painted with people and geometric shapes. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it back down. Why would I stand it up? What am I, an idiot? Just gonna leave it on the ground and be like, haha, it remained disheveled. Why would I clean this place? Ooh. Ah, secret door. You must be Demeter. A Greek statue, probably of the goddess to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. She tried to end the world in response to... Was it Persephone? That is the plot of Hades. So I think that's after the first time she tried to end the world. I think it was that there was the threat of what might, of how bad things would get if she knew what was happening. This is just a whole new place, huh? A Greek lyre played by being strummed with a plectrum. Well, now you just gave me new vocab to ask about. Crumbling statue of a woman. Clearly this has been here a long time. It's an astonishing quantity of statues, just in general, between the Greek and Roman areas. They share that much, it would seem. You can't fall off. They won't let you. Invisible walls. What the... This is too much civilization you guys got going on here. You got it more under the other stuff. Ask Guild Man if he's seen Kabosh. Well, maybe he's Kabosh.
Ah, a visitor. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Yog.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I'm looking for Kabosh.
Ah, Kabosh. I know this man. He came through here some weeks ago. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Pluto, god of the underworld.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Sounds easy enough.
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
I'm not sure, it's a complex question.
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the Golden Rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
I guess so.
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters.
No.
The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution.
Yes, but
so
no.
To navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Down here, morality matters. I haven't seen a lot of morality going on in this Golden Rule land, honestly, so I have to buck that. Technicality matters, apparently, and that's not really the spirit of that question, is it? Whose version of right and wrong?
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
What, we gonna talk praxis? No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
I think there's no such thing as a correct morality.
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
I think we need to decide for ourselves.
So if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful wife is right, then is it right?
No, that's absurd.
I agree. But why? Didn't you just say right and wrong depends on the individual?
It's because you're forcing me into false dichotomies where I have to pick one side or the other, but actually it's an incredibly complicated question where there's a weird mix of self-determination and societal rules, because the laws of society can be wrong, but also people's conclusions individually can be wrong. You're kind of doing the thing Kreia does in KOTOR 2, where she just chastises you no matter what you do, but you only are given the things that she would chastise you to do as options. Like, it's an incredibly nuanced conversation, and you're asking me to only pick options from a list, and they're bubbles and not check marks. If he feels it's right to kill his wife, then he's confused or sick.
I see. So you get to decide right from wrong. The people who see things differently are not allowed. What makes you special?
I'm the only real person in this game. Empathy, it's the cornerstone of human morality.
Empathy? The emotion? Let me ask you this. Imagine you were forced to choose between the death of your beloved spouse and the death of two innocent strangers. Knowing there will be no legal consequences, who would you mark for death?
The two strangers, but you're not catching me in a gotcha because I know it's immoral.
Of course, everyone would. Our empathy, like a siren song calling us away from our true path, would lure us toward the greater evil. Can such a beguiling thing be a reliable cornerstone for anything, let alone the perfect moral code?
I suppose not. What's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
I'm not so sure about that. What about do not kill? And then here comes the incredibly contrived scenario where kill good, according to him.
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made, such as where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil. For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
Sure, why not?
I admit, I am talking a lot. Forgive me. I'm just excited to have company. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
So what's your story?
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern in an argument with a drunken mercenary. It became heated, he drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
Yeah, Pluto is Hades. You're from a previous cycle, aren't you? I was gonna say, like, a bunch of archers that just shoot you with golden arrows seems like a less than perfect way of catching everybody. Kind of an unnecessarily imperfect way, too, like it's by design. Hades? You mean Pluto?
They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long before that, my people called him Hades.
Why can't you return to the surface?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again.
This is an incredibly, like, imperfect interpretation of deities as being just straight up not omniscient at all, I guess, which is interesting. It's just like a dude just watching, like the panopticon is more literal than expected, and there's just like a guy watching, and so if you just hide well enough, then I guess you're fine. Why can't you tell me your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
Where's everyone else?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
How have you survived down here?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
Do you know a way out of here?
Ha! If I did, would I be living like this?
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Did we not discuss it at length already? Oh, I see. You're toying with me. Ha!
I just exhaust dialogue, it's fine. Do you know where I can find a plaque that was removed from the obelisk?
You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription?
That's the one?
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you if Kabash had not already taken it.
Alright, then tell me where Kabash is.
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
I'm just wondering how they managed to get so much construction done with so few people. It doesn't feel like there's ever that many people here. I'm with you, Zovar.
However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
What did it say?
We had no idea until years later when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
What's in there?
There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
I'll be going now.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
Alright, I will. Unless... How do you keep all these flames lit down here? Where are you getting all the burnable materials if you live underground all the time? I have so many questions about the logistics of your life. Okay, fish give you most of the nutrients? Sure.
Ah, you've returned.
Dude, I didn't even leave. Like, how many fish are around here all the time? How consistent is that doable? Look at that hole right there. You got the golem situation going on.
It's so sweet.
What's here? That's a shortcut back. There's a lot of torches that you're somehow keeping lit. Torches are a weird logistical thing in a lot of video games set in older times, though, where I always wonder. Greek plaque which translates the many shall suffer for this one. Not the one I'm looking for. I often wonder what's going on with the, just the sheer amount of lit candles in certain games. But here, there's like a, how is he getting anything to burn most of the time? Question. Oh, you're right, you walk into doors. A friend of the philosopher. This must be one of the philosopher's 11 friends. Who he outlived. Getting a bit dark in here. You guys didn't wrap him up, or the wolves got to him. They all they need is 30 seconds. Yes. No. Where are these? Good. Are you just a... Oh, you're not a golden statue. Okay. Oop. We doing this? Oh. Your AI sure is a thing, huh? Yeah? He's dead, Jim. An Egyptian clay vase decorated with animals. This was built to last. So killing zombies doesn't count as immoral. So we have additional questions to ask about morality in this universe. When I murder a humanoid dude that chases me around. And the game's like, cool, that's fine.